continue to push 200 primary health care centers being funded by the state, and another 67 being handled by the World Bank. Information available to me is that about 103 of the 200 primary health centers are in different stages of completion. On the average, we have attained about 70% completion. We completed 200 every primary health care center within the state, 148 receive the touch of the new Abia. The whole idea is that anywhere you live in Abia, you must, within minutes, have access to a primary health care center, from where, if need be, you would be referred to one of the 22 secondary health care centers. I'm also glad to report that a lot of the general hospitals are receiving attention. Some of them have gone to advanced stages, while some are just starting. Again, we want to maintain a minimum standard beyond which those hospitals will not operate. We already have our template. We have our monitoring team to ensure that the standard is maintained. Just yesterday, we gave approval to improve compensation package in education, security and compulsory free and basic education in the state. Effective 1st of January this year, we have seen an upsurge in enrollment. At the moment, we have over 700,000 Abia children enjoying the free education introduced by the government. So when we saw an upsurge in enrollment, we also started preparing. We gave approval, like you know, to hire 5,000 new teachers. As more enrollment is being witnessed, we have further given approval to hire an additional 4,000 new teachers, bringing the number to 9,000. This is to ensure that the student-to-teacher ratio is within acceptable standards. We are not just hiring teachers, we are also spending quite some resources to ensure that they receive the relevant training. We have the Health Educational Reform team that has been here for over a year, and they take teachers in batches, 2,200 at a go. And the idea is that after training these teachers, I think they must be in the second or third batch now. After training these teachers, they will go back to train their colleagues. And that has paid off because the reports that we're getting is that the quality and standard have increased or have improved in different schools. And we are paying special attention to science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, so that we teach children who will come out and will not be able to face the competitive world of 3D printing, of robotics, of electric and driverless cars. That's where we want to prepare to be at home with technology. In terms of infrastructure, all the routes that we had flagged off being worked on seriously by the contractors. Port Harcourt Road in Aba should be completed by next week. I believe that our Ministry of Works will be taking over from Julius Beja by next week, as I have information that they are at the final stages, which is marking the roads. So when you get to mark it, that means you finished. We are expecting that before the 29th of May, that the road will be officially commissioned for use. And we hope that the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria will have the honor of coming to commission the road like you indicated earlier. I want to use the same opportunity to flag off our flagship medical city project. Those of you who have been paying attention will know that we have been on the medical city project from 2023 when we came in. Getting a model that works, getting partnerships, and most importantly, sourcing the funding. I'm glad to report that this we are we have signed off on a build, operate, and transfer model. We have also agreed with a partner who has experience and who is bringing the funding. And we have seen the color of the money, and it is a staggering 1.3 billion US dollars, which will be invested in a medical city in Abia. Is that if before now, um, people with some form of if we get 10% of that on an annual basis, that would be $200 million. That would be sufficient to run that center. And of course, instead of flying 8, 9, 10 hours, wherever you are, you fly into Owerri Airport, or by the time the Abia Airport will be done, to just be about 45 minutes, 1 hour. And somebody who is dealing with a health challenge would rather do a 1 hour flight than a 10 hours. So the flag off of that project will also happen with the commissioning of the Port Harcourt Road Aba project. Now on security, we'll continue to pay attention because it's so critical. Not things that we'll be talking about here, but security is everybody's business. And I'd like to use this opportunity to call on Abia people not to tolerate any act of insecurity. Ensure that whenever you see something, you say something. And I can assure you that our security forces are up to the task. And they are doing very well. Our Operation Crush is everywhere, and our eyes are everywhere. Um, some people that have tested our wheel uh, will tell you that they didn't find it easy. That is, if they are still here to tell the story. And we are very intolerant to kidnapping and other acts of banditry because all the investments we are making would come to naught if we cannot sleep with our two eyes closed. So that's very, very critical. On the management of our resources, we'll continue to be prudent and to ensure that no kobo of Abia money is wasted. Some people are used to wasting money, but this government is a very prudent government. If you check the numbers, you find that according to that management office,
you very much. Thank you very much, His Excellency, for that opening remark. Thank you for taking time to outline your joint strengths in different sectors. Gentlemen of the press, and to you listening or watching from anywhere, this is the monthly media chat with the Executive Governor of Abia State, Dr. Alex Otti. We shall be taking questions from various platforms, including radio, online, as well as the print media. But before we do that, this interaction on BCA 88.1 FM, Flow 94.9 FM, Family Goal 99.9 FM, Magic 102.9 FM, Vision Africa Radio 104.1 FM.
Their interaction is also going live on FM 91.3, FM 90.9 bar, Zig 96.3 FM, Spain 95.3 FM, Rapid 96.5 FM, Base Theta 103.5 FM, and Buzz 89.7 FM, and will also stream live on major online platforms.
You can also drop your questions via SMS on this number 0907 462 1069. 0907 462 1069. My name is Joy Nochiri of Rapid FM, and I'm anchoring with my.
My name is Victor Bassi. I work with Vision Africa Radio 104.1 FM. Distinguished colleagues, I plead as members of the fourth estate of the realm that as we begin asking questions, that we keep our questions very short and precise. Thank you very much.
And again, we shall be taking 3 questions each from each platform. One person is entitled to a question, and please straight to the point. And we have first question from the radio. Please, can we see hands up? Awaka Kingsley of Rapid FM.
Good evening, Your Excellency. My name is Kingsley Onwuka. I work with Rapid FM. Oh my. Your Excellency, there is no doubt that your administration have done well in Abia State with the new look we have seen so far. But my question this evening, with all this initiative this administration have done in the past 2 years, can you identify any company that we're expecting in Abia State via investing in the state based on job creation? Because at the end of everything, we still have some Abia youths that are not doing anything currently. Thank you, sir.
Next question, please. Yeah, the one on the blue.
Good evening, Your Excellency. My name is Charles Sobonia. I work with Sun 91.9 FM Aba. Your Excellency, my very question is the fact that you've done very well in a lot of areas in this administration and in Abia State. But Your Excellency, I want to draw your attention to the fact that the task force in Abia State right now, I don't know if you are aware that some of the things they are doing now is totally out of place in terms of harassing motorists and keke people and all that. Then, Your Excellency, just to put it together, the issue of pensioners you made mention of that you will look into it. We are still expecting you to really look at the issue of the pensioners and some of the sacked directors and the directors and the PAMSECs, and sure the teachers too, because we believe, Your Excellency, that these things certainly will make some of us that have somebody like me, I have a lot of them around, to make them happy, Your Excellency. That's my very question. Thank you, Your Excellency.
No, I need you to clarify. When you say issue of pensioners, issue of teachers,
Sorry, the issue
what
of
what
you.
are the issues?
Sorry, you promised that you look into the issue of the pensioners, and you've not. Uh, the issue of the money, something that happened the other time. You said you were going to look at it again, and you're going to review it during the birthday of Honorable, Senator Chris at DJ. I was there, sir, and all that. So that's what I just said, sir.
So what's the question?
I
You,
said,
you don't want me to look at it again?
no, that's we've not heard from you. That's what I'm saying. Since after you said it, we've not heard from you since after then.
Okay, but have you heard that I'm not looking at it?
Thank you, Excellency, sir.
Good evening, Your Excellency. I am Imeremba, Real FM, Papa. First, I want to commend you, sir, that Abia is relatively peaceful for the past 23 months. But, sir, on 4th of this month, some Chinese expatriates were kidnapped. But the swift response of the security agencies led to their immediate rescue. Rescuing them. Is there any on the kidnappers or the killers? Thank you very much, Your Excellency.
Thank you very much, His Excellency, sir.
All right, thank you very much. I'll start with the from Kingsley Onwuka. Comments. Your question about job creation. Job creation. I believe that's what you are asking about. You see, a lot of times people don't understand that the way the economy works, there's something called circular flow of the economy. If you do something, you expect an outcome. And a lot of time, people who don't understand that it is actually your action that leads to results. It's when you come out and say, I want to create jobs, it doesn't mean anything. What will mean something is what you have done that will help create jobs. Except if you just want to hire people who may or may not be doing it. And that happens mostly in the public sector. So you have a bloated civil service, for instance. And when you go in there, you probably not see anybody doing it. So the real job creators is the private sector. But the private sector is also not emotional, it is rational. So if you don't create the enabling environment for the for the private sector to do its thing and create jobs and hire people, it will not happen. So when you see us building roads, when you see us cleaning up the environment, when you see us pay attention to public power supply, public water supply, um, ensuring that the place is lit up, that security is top notch, that there are schools for the children of both the employers and the employees to go to, that when they are sick, that they have good hospitals that will give them good attention. then no matter how much you sermonize about adopted. So some of the things we are doing today, I spent time in Aba to where ethnocentric, a company that is committed to small and medium scale enterprises and teaching, upskilling young people between the ages of 18 and 35, graduated 2,000 young people, supported by um, MasterCard Foundation. And they put millions of dollars in it. And so when you talk about jobs, those 2,000 graduates already have jobs, all of them, except about 100 of them who said they don't want to work, that they are entrepreneurs and they want to set up their own businesses. So you don't start from answer to question. If you start from answer to question, you get confused. So there are a lot of things we are doing that are attracting. This evening I received Association of Freight Forwarders in Aba. Their leadership came to thank me for Port Harcourt Road and some of the other things that have reduced their cost of doing business. In fact, the chairman said that prior to the time this administration started, that he had made a decision to relocate out of Abia and relocate his business. But then in May, towards the end of May, June 2023, he saw a glimmer of light and decided to wait a little bit. And today, he went emotional. So, in terms of job creation, all the things we are doing are geared towards job creation. And by the time the numbers start coming out, you will see that one, that the unemployment rate would have gone down significantly. Secondly, that the poverty rate would have also gone down much, much below the national average. So that's how it works. But I still think it's early days when the numbers, so I rely on numbers. You know, you can preach, yes, but when you look at the data will speak. But my sense is that things are looking up. Mere fact that you can come out and all those machine tools shops that used to be in Port Harcourt Road, I can see that some of them are returning. People who relocated to neighboring states are coming back. Every day I receive people coming with their money to invest. All these investments are geared towards job creation. Um, Charles, uh, I also want to thank you for your positive comments about the government. You asked two questions, and you need to help us choose which one you want us to answer, because we have said it is only one question per person, right? So which of them do you want us to answer? You asked about task force harassing motorists, and then pensioners, teachers. So which one do you prefer to answer, the first or the second one? All right, so the issue of task force harassing motorists, we get to hear this far and in between sometimes, but we deal with them. So if there are specific references, we will deal with them. Um, As a code of conduct, this government does not support harassment of any kind. If somebody has fallen short of the law must take its course. So if somebody now takes the law into his hands, he's also breaking the law. So if you do have any such situation anytime, please feel free to report and it will be dealt with. Um, the question about pensioners, yes, I did make a promise that I was going to look at it again, and that promise stands. And we had reached out to the National Union of Pensioners. Um, and we want to deal with them at the national level because they had approached us. But I think what had happened is that there's an election that is supposed to take place any moment from now. And the leadership of National Union of Pensioners had asked for time to finish with the electioneering process and then come down to Abia to discuss with the government. So the offer remains open. And the ball is now in their courts. Imeremba, thank you for your positive comments. Uh, the issue of the kidnap and death of some Chinese came to us as a surprise because we didn't have any information about it. On further inquiry, we found that they came from a born state, um, but some of the kidnappers have been arrested, and prosecution will soon happen. The investigation is still on, so I may not be at liberty to discuss the details, but suffice it to say that the security agencies are on top of it, and they will do whatever that is required. In fact, as a matter of fact, um, the Chinese ambassador reached out to me when this happened, the same day it happened. So the government does not joke with the issue of security. So even before I got to know about it, our people had swung into action. So I can assure you that we would do whatever that is required to bring the suspects to book. That's about the three questions that I had.
Thank
I'll turn
you
it to you.
very much, His Excellency, sir.
Thank you very much, His Excellency. Let's move on by taking questions from the online platforms.
Please do well to raise your hands so we can. All Facts newspaper, Emenike Iwebu.
Your Excellency, good evening. My name is Dominike Rebu. I'm of the All Facts newspaper. And today I want to look into tourism, Your Excellency. And I know that the state have been making efforts in the area of tourism, identified some tourist locations in Abia State. But I want to zero on the Enyimba Hotel. We are aware that there is an understanding between Abia State government and Radisson Blue. I want to know what are the timelines, Your Excellency? When do we expect that when we are passing through that area, we'll begin to see construction work going? That will make some of us who like going out be very happy. Thank you, Your Excellency.
Thank you very much. Any other person online? ABN TV.
Good evening, Your Excellency. Truly, I want to commend you on the pensioner for you to be a good listener and also a good leader to Ohafia. His Excellency, last year I mentioned about darkness in Ohafia for past 6 years. Being a good listener, I think you will do more. for Mafia to have light. Well, my question today, His Excellency, is that are you aware that pensioners in Abia State University, ABSU, are currently owed 25 months of pensions arrears? His Excellency, according to my findings, the past administration left behind 12 months of unpaid pension. Well, Your Excellency, administration began payment from June 2023, which was commendable to say, but reportedly stopped after March 2024 payment, leaving an additional 13 months unpaid under current government. His Excellency, or Your Excellency, sorry,
Sir, can you go straight to the
I'm
question?
coming, please. I'm coming. Thank you. The affected pensioners believe that as a listing governor and a leader, you may not be fully be aware of this. Please, they would like to know, and Abians would like to know if you can help out, because there's something happening there. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much. Please, we crave your indulgence. Once the microphone gets to you, go straight to the point.
Yes, please, can we have your name? You forgot to mention your name.
All right, my name is Ifani Okali for ABN TV and radio. Thank you.
Next person, please. Yes.
Good evening, Your Excellency. My name is Kingsley Alozie. I write for Candid Reporters. My question is on infrastructure. Your Excellency, a visit to the Abia Industrial Innovation Park yesterday revealed that nothing is actually happening at the moment after the groundbreaking ceremony around September 30th, 2023. The same happened at the proposed Abia Airport, also visited yesterday, and nothing visibly is happening there as at yesterday, 6 p.m. Your Excellency, still want to help us to make it clear how many hectares of land was acquired by the state government. This will help to clear the narrative out there, because we've been hearing about 1,500 hectares, 1,250 hectares. What is the exact number of land acquired from that community? Thank you, Your Excellency.
Thank you very much. We now hand over the microphone to you, His Excellency.
All right, thank you very much. Let me start with you. The AIIP that was um, flagged off, I'm sure you know that there are a whole lot of things that go into it. And as a responsible government, we do not start work until we have completed compensation payment. So compensation had just been completed, I believe, last month or 2 months ago. And the access road have been awarded, and I'm sure if you went there, you will see that work is going on the access road. So it won't be correct to say that nothing is happening. Because if you cannot access the place, then you cannot do anything. I'm sure you also are aware that the federal government has approved for a modular refinery of 10,000 barrels per day, and work will soon start on that. So it's a gradual process. And Rome could not have been built in a day. It take time. We want to do it well and do it right. And there are other investors that have also taken position. And very soon, once there's access and the place is mapped out properly, uh, they will come in. Now, on the Abia airport, it's actually not correct to say that work is not going on because I am aware that Greenberg has started with the wrong way and also fencing. The federal government has also approved funding for fencing of the airport. So Greenberg mobilized a few weeks ago, and I've seen the videos. So if you went there by 6 p.m., maybe they had closed. So I will encourage you to go during work hours tomorrow or next. Um, how much land was acquired? I'm not in a position to respond to that, but I know that the technical people had mapped out the um, exact space that was required, and we have paid compensation to all the people whose lands were within that space. And that's just the space that we have taken. But I don't have the numbers here. But if you are very interested, please engage with the Ministry of Transport or the Ministry of Lands and Housing, and you get the exact size. Then Ifeanyi Okali, thank you for commendation on pension payment for the state and local government. The issue of Ohafia Light is being worked on. Power in Ohafia. It's something that can be resolved as quickly as we would have loved to do it. We found that there was massive vandalization from E2 angle from where power came. And we are still working on it. Uh, we believe that in no distant time, their power will be restored. Now, the issue of pensioners in APSU is news to me. Really surprised to hear that. So I would take it on board. Like I'd always maintained, I can't know everything. So when you bring things up like this, I'm not afraid to say I do not know. This is news to me, and I don't understand why pension will be stopped 30 months ago when it was being paid before now. If anything, we have committed so much money in ensuring that the Abia State University runs well. I'm sure you may have also seen that we have started work on the hostel, existing hostel where students are. Also have started work on the 5,000 bed hostel, the Faculty of Law and Faculty of Agriculture, and have given matching orders that by the beginning of the next session, at least we should have considerable results and have people move in there. So, Commissioner for Tertiary Education and Special Advisor Tertiary Education, please, I'd like to know what is happening with pension in Abia State University. Let's be sure that this information is correct. Emenike, we thank you for your comments, and your question is about timeline for work to start at the Imba Hotel. I think we are almost there. This kind of a project requires a whole lot. All the designs have to be approved, the funding have to be put in place. I'm happy to report that I saw documents from both Radisson Blue, the consultant, to show that the funding is in place. So I have no doubt that construction will start any moment from now. But I've also given a timeline for the delivery of, at the minimum, the first phase of the project, which is the 100-room block. Okay, and I gave everybody involved 24 months starting from January. Now, but I know that work is going very, very well. And beyond the hotel itself, it's also the conference center. I've seen the 3D design, which is modeled after the Kigali Convention Center, also run by Radisson Blu. And I was happy with what I saw, and I'm sure they move into the other designs, and eventually that will be approved, and work will also start there. And of course, on the back of it, there's also the leisure park. So it's an ecosystem of tourism, entertainment, and leisure. Um, I guess that's about it. But
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. And before we take the next set of questions, let's remind you that this interaction is live on BCA 88.1 FM, Flow 94.9 FM, Family Love 99.9 FM, Magic 102.9 FM, Vision Africa 104.1 FM.
Also on FM 1.9 ABBA, Zik 96.3 FM, 95.3 FM, Rapid 96.5 FM, Paysera 103.5 FM. It is now time with time for us.
Not forgetting Real FM 99.1 FM.
Yeah.
Also, we're streaming live on major online platforms.
Thank you for that. And it is time for us to get questions from the pen pushers, members of the print medium. Thank you very much.
Steve of Vanguard newspaper.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. My name is Steve Oko of Vanguard newspapers. Let me join my colleagues who have already commended you for the good work you are doing in Abia. Keep it up. There's always room for improvement. I'm a farmer too, apart from being a journalist. And recently, I applied Nonya Eluama Road, Isukwato. I was quite impressed with what I saw there. You know, it's a rural community and it leads to a lot of farms. Keep it up. For Excellency, I'm a bit worried. Ask. About 2, 3 years ago, here in Abia State, the anti-open grazing law, bill was passed into law and signed. But we still see cows roaming the streets. And then the question is it that law is weak, or those who enforce the law are weak, or the state is tired of going after those who are breaking the law that was passed in this state? Or are the headers too strong that they are now out of control? And then asked to stop at one question. Your Excellency, I have a little information to pass across to you. You know, we don't often see in a forum like this. But what I'm going to say is a bit sensitive. I want to know whether this forum, since we're on air, we're able to, take that. How I wish, Your Excellency, we can have a way of passing that across. It will help.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay, just before we take the next question, please remember you can as well send your SMS to this number 0907 462 1067. 0907 462 1067.
The next question, please. Pass the microphone to the man to the switchboard.
Your Excellency, my name is Chief Journalist Elder Sam Obinai, Chairman, Suspended Chapter, Abia AUJ. Your Excellency, let me bring you fraternal greetings from Correspondent Chapel of Abia State Council of Nigerian Journalists. Your Excellency, let me also join with colleagues in commending you for the good work you're doing in Abia State. Wants to come from Umopra Aziz of South. Your Excellency, anybody who has not visited Tower Onimo for the past 7 months would they marvel if they entered into what is happening there. I want to commend you for that. Your Excellency, I'm well a chieftain of Ohanese Ndigbo. One house. Your Excellency, under the present leadership of our president, Dr. Sisi Okuono, we made it compulsory that we speak Igbo in all our deliberations. And that has been the case. Just about 3 days ago, the Opera Council of Chiefs, where I serve as the image maker, all our deliberations were said in Igbo language. Today, it might also please me to pay Your Excellency, as the chairman of the chapel, we make sure that all our deliberations today was in Igbo language. Now, with the policy of Your Excellency. Your Excellency, my question now is, when we, the executive council of Abia State, adopt at least 50% of their deliberations in Igbo language in order to give vent to what you are doing to champion the Igbo culture and tradition in Abia State. Thank you very much, Your Excellency.
Thank you very much. Okay, lady.
Your Excellency, my name is Henrietta Shikoti, and I want to join others to also commend you and to tell you that your 2027 Abians have already started campaigning for you because it's very, very, if you be listening to the radio and watching watching other uh, television, you discover that Abians themselves are so appreciative of what you've done and they are campaigning for you. But my question is, government college. For some time now, there have been protests now from that college because of increment of their fees, 1 million plus. Whom I hear? Yes. They now pay 1.1 million, and the indigene are complaining that their children have access anymore to the school and others. Now, so Excellency, you have gone far to ensure free and fair education in Abia State. So, what will you do to ensure that government college, which is supposed to be a state secondary school, comes back, comes down to what it ought to be? Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for the questions. Or we now hand it over to His Excellency for his response.
All right, thank you very much. Let me start with those comments and questions. Thank you for the commendation, and thank you for letting us know the campaign for 2027 has started. But the reality is that we are not even halfway gone. We just hit 23 months yesterday. So uh, if you ask me, it's too early to start campaign. Um, but again, I've also seen that some people out of mischief or seeking for recognition keep making reference to 2027. Um, I'd always said it that um, because power belongs to the people and the people belong to God. So power belongs to God. And anybody who arrogates to himself the, the authority mentions about what will happen in 2027. The truth about it is that I've seen people who were packing money and preparing for 2023 election that died in 2020. So um, I just I want to um, ask God to forgive them. Um, but thank you. Now, Government College Omoahia at some point was handed over to the Fisher Educational Trust by previous administration. So because of that, even though it's government college, but it's operating more or less like a private institution, and they have invested in the place. While we will not campaign against them, it is also instructive that people always have a choice. Um, if you think the kitchen is too hot, you get the hell out. That is what the Iboma said. But then I had also engaged with them at some point. Um, the educational trust is managed by the old students, old boys. I believe they will do whatever is required to save the legacy of the school. Chief journalist Elder Sam, thank you for your comments, positive comments, particularly on the on Tower Road and a few other routes. Igbo language. Um, what we have done, gradually we will get there. First of all, we have said that Igbo language should be introduced in all our schools, and that has been complied with. So um, we may not get to the point where we say we must communicate in Igbo. We still in the executive council have people who don't understand Igbo language, who are not Igbo. So you don't want to excommunicate them or marginalize them. So that's the only concern. But then you still find that we start the executive council with a presentation of Kola, and everything about the kola nut is done in it and in our trade. So you may not get to the point where everything that you are doing will be handled in the language, but at least we need to be conscious that this is our language and we shouldn't allow it to die. And it's the language is part of the culture of a people. And if you let your culture die, then you are as well dead. And that is why we ensure that it becomes compulsory at our schools. and of our Igbo language. And you will find that some of these things, by moral education, encouragement, uh, they would just take center stage instead of legislating them and forcing. Steve, thank you for your very kind words, particularly on the Nonya Eluama route. Your question is about the anti-open grazing law, which you say was passed some years ago. Um, I'm not really aware of the passage of that law. I'm sure it's something that happened before our administration, right? Oh, all right. Okay. So we are going to look at it again. Um, the senior special assistant on legislative matters, please, uh, let's go and check if that law was actually passed. Uh, please review it. And if it is in order, once a law has passed, it has to be implemented. So let's look at it. Let's be sure that it was passed, and then we can now take it up from there. But thank you, Steve, for bringing this to. I'm just hearing about it for the first time. I am also an apostle of um, um, an open grazing. I believe that we've gone beyond carrying cows and destroying people's farms. Even the species of cows that are modern don't need to marul all over the place. Uh, so uh, thank you for calling. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. We'll move over to television. Before then, the SMS are pouring in. Keep the messages coming in right after now. We'll reel out some of them and allow his Excellency to respond to them. Television, hands up.
Let's begin with the man at the front.
Good evening, Your Excellency. My name is Emmanuel Mazue. I work for Abians TV. Your Excellency, my question is bordering on what my friend Imeremba mentioned about the security situation, particularly about the kidnap incident. The victims were said to be Chinese miners, and it now brought me to the knowledge that Abia State does have, you know, a good deposit of some solid minerals like kaolin, even gold, and all that. Now, looking at this situation, I was asking what the intention of those who attacked these miners were. Could they just be ordinary kidnappers, or that we are having a kind of the preliminary stage of the Zamfara and Niger experiences? If that is the case, there is the need to nip this in the bud. So, what is the administration doing? We know clearly that the Constitution, Section 44(3) of the Nigerian Constitution, vested the ownership and control of Nigeria's mineral resources on the federal government. But then we have the issue of the Land Use Act, 1978, given also the land authorities on the governors. That appears to be some kind of conflict. Now, how are you going to handle this issue? The federal government is far away in Abuja, may not be controlling the mining site. And again, we cannot take away the fact that there is the issue of illegal miners operating. How are you handling this? Thank you very much.
Next person. Okay, men TVC. All right.
Good evening, Your Excellency. My name is Sapphire Chinazom Gabriel. I report for TBC News. Okay, Your Excellency, it's been endless complaints and grumblings from K operators. They said they were told to pay 1,500 naira for bucket and then 5,000 naira for form, registration form for repenting of keke, and that's 5,000 naira. And this is also different from money that they will pay for the repenting itself. And then they say that the tax force, they are disturbing them so, and it's a lot for them already. Now they want to know if you are aware of this. Second question is to know it's
Thank
part
you.
of this.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
Just one
One
question.
It is
question
part
per
of this.
person.
I am not going away from KK operators. Now they want to know why they were told to pay this money cash and not into the state government account, because he said that all money will be paid into one account. And when they make this that office, and it's at number one K Street, Omar here. They are also complaining that the 5,000 naira is too much. So, thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Okay, move over here. The man on red cap.
Good evening, Your Excellency. My name is Iweha O Empire from Confluence Television, Lokoja, Kogi State. Surprised? Yes, Excellency, I'm also the Senior Special Assistant to the Executive Governor of Kogi State on surveillance, and also Igbo Youth President in Kogi State. Your Excellency, my own is just commendation. The Abians in Kogi State are proud of you. We are so happy. Abia State a few years ago, but when I returned 2 days ago, the difference is clear. Thank you, Your Excellency, for making us proud. God bless you.
Thank you very much. Excellent.
All right, thank you. Shall we? All right, thank you, thank you.
Distinguished
So,
colleagues, please, one house, let's get responses from His Excellency. Thank you.
all right, so let me start with the last comment from Iweha. Thank you very much for the recommendation. And we are happy that we are represented in Kogi State. And we want to also thank you for employing one of our sons. And it's nice to see you. And please keep coming home. All right, the Inazo Gabriel. Huh? Zafire. Okay, so your question is about keke operators. You seem to have so much information that I would have suspected that you are one of them. But some of the things you said are strange, and we need to let our people know that first of all, anybody that says you should pay cash
working with the government. And we must learn to resist extortion. It does appear that we've been exposed for too long to some of these bad behavior that we tend to see them as normal. So you should also blow the whistle. When somebody says, pay me cash, the person is already a thief. So call the security agencies, report them. In fact, bringing this matter here is not helpful. The person that was approached should have reported it immediately, and we would have dealt with it. We've apprehended a lot of people, fake people all over the place, going about with printed receipts, but they are not government officials. Okay, so that is the first signal that something is wrong. When somebody says, you must pay me cash, why should you pay him cash? You should stand up to him and call security agencies. So we shouldn't allow intimidation. All right, and I don't know how much, whether it's 5,000 or 2,000, I don't know. But I would like, unfortunately, the Commissioner for Local Government and Chief Agency Affairs, who is in charge of the Harmonized Task Force in Owerri, attending a program on his behalf. But I would like this message to go to him. SSG, please take notes. We need to find out how much uh, are the fees, okay? And we need to publicize it, and we need to educate our people that anybody who comes to them to ask for cash is not working for the state government and should be apprehended and treated like a common criminal. Um, the Emmanuel Wazue, your question about the security situation and the uh, kidnapping of Chinese, which you now brought to the issue of solid minerals. Um, and you really wanted to know how the government is addressing this. It is, we have such laws that conflict. And if the land belongs to the state, but what is below it belongs to the federal government. So there's always a way. It's the same thing with oil. The land belongs to the state, but the oil belongs to the federal government. So there's always room for partnership. And that's exactly what we are doing. Um, but first of all, you need to prove that you have those solid minerals on the ground. And our Commissioner for Petroleum and Mineral Resources, together with his team, have been working around the clock to at least prove. There is probable, there is also proof. Once they are approved, then we'll partner with the federal government. Just like we also are partnering with Petroleum Technology Association of Nigeria, PETA, and we have already set up Abians, which is an exploration and production company, waiting for the next bid round. And the over 100 wells that are capped in Okwa West, we need to bid for them. We believe once we have them, we can do what they call walkover and begin to produce. Uh, so we are not there yet. Um, of course, Caroline, everyone knows, between Ohia and other parts of the state, for trade in Bende. So lignite in Iquano, those are known. But then the
process of trying to get them off the ground. That's what we are working on. So rest assured that the government is doing everything because that's actually money that is there. If you leave it for several years, you are losing money. So we are working seriously. In fact, we set up uh, a committee made up of experts, geologists, geophysicists from different parts of the country who are working uh, or who is that working with the Honorable Commissioner on solid. I guess that's about it.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. We'll move over now to the SMS. And this one says, I want to thank His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Abia State, Dr. Alex Otti, for his magnanimity to ASOBEB staff for defraying the arrears of salary owed to them by the previous administration of Governor Bazo. Sir, it is unfortunate that retired staff of ASOBEB who merited this payment, whether dead or alive, were excluded from the payment. Your Excellency, sir, I humbly request fatherly look into this issue. Thank you for your understanding from innocent along.
His Excellency, this is coming from Eze Pakistan.
Your Excellency, good evening, sir. Sorry, I'm taking another question now. I want to thank His Excellency, Executive Governor of Abia State, Dr. Alex Otti, for his magnanimity to ASOBEP staff for defraying the arrears of salary owed to them by previous administration of Governor Okezi Bazo. Sir, it is unfortunate that retired staff of ASOBEP who retired have not been, whether dead or alive, were excluded from the payment. Your Excellency, sir, I humbly request you furtherly look into this issue. Thank you for your understanding. Innocent Aloma.
Your Excellency, good evening, sir. At the last media chat, you expressed surprise and shock that your approval to pay the retirement entitlement of permanent secretaries retired October 31, 2023 has not been effected. It has still not been. What is holding it? Your officers seem not to have understood your instructions or are working against it, sir. Thanks. This is coming from Eisenwoke Egu from Bende local government area.
The governor announced extension of retirement service age of nurses and health workers in Abia State from 60 to 65 years. Information reaching us is that state payroll officers in charge of workers' salary are refusing to pay some of the affected health workers who are currently in service, demanding individual letters of approval signed by the governor for their extension. For discuss, some health workers who are beneficiaries of the 65 years extension have not been receiving salaries. Obimba Uchi from Omwahia. Have you allowed me to respond to your question?
All right. So maybe let me take the last one. Bauchi. Um, the extension of retirement from 60 to 65, uh, the directive has been given, and I'm aware that it's being implemented. But it has to be implemented in such a way that it's only people who are fit and able to work. It is not for people who are not able to work. And I see that so with teachers. Um, it is fit, willing, and able to work. So it's not general. If you are not able to contribute, uh, to even ask for help and take care of yourself, So that's based on my experience with teachers. I believe that's what this question is speaking to. Eze nwoke ego. Retirement, okay, payment of retirement benefits to permanent secretary in 2023. Information available to that the payments have been made a long time. So I think what people are agitating for is gratuity. And unfortunately, gratuity had not been paid in this state for several years. So as I have said, while we are looking at those ones that are pending, we will also put them in the same bucket. But all the other retirement benefits and even pension are being paid up to date. The main concern talked about as SUBEP staff. Uh, it's unfortunate if retired staff have not been paid. And I would direct the chairman of the SUBEP to look into that. Um, the first stage was the verification. So it's understandable if they started with those who were still in active service. So the same thing that happened at Ugonayono Polytechnic. But subsequently, I had also directed uh, the retired staff paid, and even those that were disengaged before the administration came on board, and I believe they've all been paid. Please, SSG, take note of this and take it up with the chairman of us so that everybody who is due to be paid is paid. Thank you.
Thank you, His Excellency. This one says, good evening, Your Excellency. I thank His Excellency for the excellent work you are doing in the state since the inception of your administration, especially in the area of infrastructures. I also thank His Excellency for promising to revisit the issues of arrears of pension and gratuity of Abia pensioners. Your Excellency, Abia pensioners are full of expectation regarding your promise to revisit the memorandum of agreement will be actualized, and when pensioners expect to be paid their state areas of pension and gratuity. This is coming from Oyema Eze Anyaku.
My name is Very Reverend Kenneth Omobani. Your Excellency, I commend you for your commitment to giving Abians quality health care. Your Excellency, you graciously approved the construction of a road to Amudo Rehabilitation Center at Itumbozo last year. I appeal for commencement of construction work before the peak of rainy season this year. May God continue to strengthen you.
This is coming from, I think that no identity, we can move on. Please, when you send your SMS, you do well to include your name. So I honestly want to appreciate and thank you, sir, for your response in the last monthly media chat concerning our road, which links us with our kids and kings in Omoyugu, Nduru, Oboro, and Uyo in the Kogi State, which the Honorable Commissioner for Works Engineer Don came and inspect. I think this is commendation.
And this one says, what about the Abia Road Traffic and Safety Management Agency that has not been paid since January, and non-implementation of minimum wage for workers in the Department of Livestock and Veterinary, Ministry of Agriculture, and non-payment of leave allowances since the inception of this administration. Emeka from Omaha. Your Excellency, sir.
I guess that's about it, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
We're
sir.
getting more of commentations than questions.
Okay. So, recommendation on the road network. Thank you very much. Um, Tonye Maize, thank you for your commendation and for your kind words on infrastructure. I've answered the question on the issue of pension. So, sure, I've sent in this question before I answered it. Reverend Mubani was appealing that the road to Amudo be kicked off. I think we have that in the budget. It must have been awarded, but if it has not been awarded, it will be awarded very soon. Um, Emeka asking about the good um, Astema. I think that's the acronym for it. And then some people in Agric that have not been affected by the new minimum wage. That means that they are not civil servants. If you can name the payroll as at the time we implemented the new minimum wage, you would have. I know that there are some agencies of government uh, who have hired some people on contract basis. They will run through their contract. It needs to be renewed. So but if you are a civil servant in Abia State, you are you would have been receiving the new minimum wage because it was implemented without discrimination. That would be my response to that.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Over to you.
Thank you, Your Excellency, ladies and gentlemen. That is where we'll be drawing the curtain on today's edition, of this month's edition of Governor Legislative Speaks to Abians. But before we finally round up, we once again yield the microphone to His Excellency for his closing remarks. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Let me start by now commending the anchors for today's media chat for a job well done. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
And I'd like to thank all the media houses that are represented here, and of course, our brothers and sisters who joined us from their homes, and of course, those online who ask questions. Uh, this has become a monthly ritual where we present our scorecard and you air your views and ask questions. You will agree with me that we do not um, we do not we do not delegate anybody, and uh, you are free to ask the questions that you want to ask. And this is how this government operates on the basis of transparency and openness. So I want to thank you for your questions. I may not have answered all of them well, but I've answered them honestly to the best of my knowledge. And those ones that I didn't have answers to, I've referred them to the right people so that we can provide answers. I want to remind us that this government, by next month, uh, end of next month, would have clocked 2 years. So we are just 23 months. And I want to thank Abia people for the massive support that this government has been receiving. And you can be sure that this is a government that God used you to bring to power. And it's a government that is answerable to you and you alone. You may hear some noise left, right, and center. And for us, we really don't pay attention to the noise. Um, we have made it clear from day one that if you are used to a particular style uh, and a change happens, a lot of times people struggle with the change. So people have been used to a particular style of governance or government. But that government, that style is only for a few privileged. Now government is for everyone. So instead of uh, apportioning funds for sharing, we will use the same funds for building something that everybody will use. And that is our mantra in this government. And we will not change no matter how much noise people make. I was telling some people that sometimes people make noise to be needs to be recognized and then to be for negotiation. And, so if it is about noise, you will keep hearing noise. But we have to pay no attention. So as you go back, please let people know that this government, this is the style of government that has come to stay. Even if I'm not here, you see, the thing about governance is that when people have tested it, uh, they never would allow themselves to go back to Egypt. Uh, so it's also for all of us to defend what is working because we know where we are coming from. And if you like to go back to where you are coming from, I can assure you that you are in the minority. The majority of the people have moved. And once the train has left the station, um, it has left you behind. So I want to also use this opportunity to thank members of the House of Assembly who have been giving support to this government. Uh, Not too long ago, some of them left their former party and joined us in Labour Party. We cannot take that for granted. We thank them. And I believe that the reason they did that is because they have seen the quality governance that this administration has brought to bear on the state. So once again, let me thank you and wish you a good night rest. God bless you.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Ladies and gentlemen, we finally come to the end of this month. Shall we take the next?